Here are your General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, August 21st, 2025. Drew thinks he has the witness of the year in Martin Gray, but he doesn't realize just how much he has angered Marty. Even smarmy lawyers don't take kindly to smarmy politicians who go after children and old ladies for their own agenda. When Marty is asked to sign Drew's sworn statement, he has to think about it for a moment before taking Drew aside. Marty knows exactly what Drew did to Stella, so he tries to cut a deal with Drew. He tells the insurance board his complaint was a mistake, or Marty won't sign the statement. Michael and Sonny are set to get the upper hand in this game, so does that mean Drew's determination to hurt Curtis outweighs his obsession with winning back Willow? Watch out, Drew, 'cause Curtis is coming after you again. He realizes that it was Drew who ratted out Stella, and he is not about to let his former BFF get away with it. Stella even tells her nephew that Drew won this time. However, Curtis is not about to give up and knows he has to use Aurora to get revenge on Drew somehow. He thought they had come to an understanding, but Curtis should know never let his guard down when it comes to Drew. While Maxie remains unconscious, the people who love her are heartbroken and terrified, not knowing what will happen next. Maxie's condition causes Lulu and Liesl to come to some sort of truce until they then rehash the past. Brooklyn is not sure what to do. She feels out of place at the hospital, but she wants to be there for Maxie. Tracy tries to convince her that if she doesn't go, she will never forgive herself. Molly finds Cody at Bobby's deep in thought and wants his advice, but soon realizes he has something much more serious on his mind. Will Cody confide in Molly? Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Here's your General Hospital recap on what happened in Port Charles today, Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. At the hospital, Lucas and Elizabeth checked Maxie's vitals, which were normal. Lucas was concerned that Maxie still wasn't awake. As they watched through the room window, Lulu comforted Spinelli. Lucas and Elizabeth came out to share Maxie's test results. Her CT and MRI results were clean. They did not find calcifications, blockage, or hypertrophy, and her blood panel was good as well. After Lucas and Elizabeth left, Spinelli wanted to sit with Maxie, but worried because he hadn't updated the kids yet. Lulu said Spinelli should be the first person Maxie saw when she woke up. She told him to go be with Maxie, and she would go talk with the kids. At her bedside, a scared and antsy Spinelli talked to Maxie about their family to-do list. He said James had a swim meet this weekend, and she promised to take Georgie back to school shopping, for which he would be a terrible substitute. So you see, Maximista, you have to wake up because you are irreplaceable in so many ways, he said. Going on, he said he planned to ask her to marry him when she opened her eyes, and pleaded with her to open her eyes. In the family room, Cody, Felicia, and Mac were nervously waiting. Mac was staring at a picture of Maxie collapsed on the home and heart set, trying to understand what happened. Later, Anna met with Felicia, who was alone in the room at that point. Felicia said she was barely holding together, but Lucas had just given them an encouraging update. She too was worried that Maxie hadn't woken up, though. Reflecting on the miracle of getting BJ's heart when Maxie was 6, Felicia worried, what if that miracle has run its course? She said Maxie's heart had done so much and wondered if it was tired and starting to wear out. Anna said she didn't think miracles had expiration dates and believed in Maxie's strength and will to live. Later, Elizabeth met Lucas in the break room. He was trying to remain calm, but shared that he was panicked because Maxie hadn't woken up yet and they couldn't figure out why. He reflected on losing Sam and being afraid of not being able to save someone else he loved. Elizabeth reassured him by saying, sometimes the body needed time to heal on its own, and Maxie always did things in her own way. While Mac and Cody waited outside of Maxie's room, Mac reflected on raising Maxie, Robin, and Georgie being the greatest privilege of his life. He laughed about many of his gray hairs having Maxie's name on them. Cody shared how Maxie was the one who stopped him from leaving town and believed in him even when he couldn't. He said she always treated him like a member of the family and made him want to be a part of her family. Later, speaking to the whole family, Lucas said Maxie's toxicology screening needed further analysis because an anomaly showed up in her blood, an unidentified enzyme which could possibly be preventing her from waking up. They needed to figure out what it was and where it was coming from so they could determine the best course of treatment for Maxie. Anna followed Lucas when he walked off. When he told her he'd never seen anything like the enzyme, Anna asked if it was possible that Maxie was poisoned. Lulu arrived at Maxie's house to talk with Georgie and James. First, she spoke with Emma, who had been watching them overnight. Lulu said Maxie was still unresponsive, but stable, and she was taking anything positive and clinging to it. After Emma left, a clearly worried Lulu was taking a few minutes to process everything when Liesl knocked at the door. Lulu invited her in, saying James would be happy to see his grandmother. Before they could say much, Georgie and James ran into the living room, arguing. Lulu began to explain what was happening with Maxie, but struggled with how to explain it in the least upsetting way possible. Liesl slipped into doctor mode and explained the situation in a way that would be direct, but not alarming. The two together did their best to comfort and reassure Georgie and James. After the kids went back to their rooms, Lulu thanked Liesl for how well she handled talking to them. Liesl, who Lulu could sense was worried, said the longer Maxie didn't respond, the more likely it would be for her to slip into a coma. At the Metro Court pool, Drew approached Gio at work. He enthusiastically said it looked like cutting ties with the Quartermains agreed with Gio and gave him props for going his own way. Gio said his relationship with his family was none of Drew's business. Drew felt they had something in common because they both had family who let them down, but Gio took a moment to point out just a few of the egregious things Drew had done, which he felt made them not alike at all. Drew and Martin sat at a table by the window where Drew filled him in about reporting Michael for assault. He was practically shaking with excitement at the thought of Michael going to prison. Martin surprised Drew when he questioned how he considered Michael's punch an assault. Drew reminded Martin that he was there when Michael attacked me out of nowhere, but Martin recounted that he saw Drew approach Wiley, upset him, and then accused Michael of lying to Wiley, which he said was hardly an unprovoked attack. Drew said Michael hit a sitting member of Congress, but Martin said he was going too far. Agitated, Drew said it wouldn't be too far if it sent Michael to prison because he couldn't be Father of the Year from Pentonville. Martin realized the whole thing was another strategic attempt by Drew to get Willow to forgive him. Drew claimed he only lost Willow because she lost her kids, and once he could get them back for her, she would see that everything he did was out of his love for her. Martin asked, "Including sleeping with her mother?" Drew claimed Nina was a mistake, which happened before he fell in love with Willow, and went back to his point that no judge would look favorably upon Michael, who bludgeoned a woman to death and now attacked a congressman. Martin pointed out it might now go as easily as he wanted, and Michael along with Curtis could use Aurora Media to make Michael look like a saint if they wanted to. When Drew said Curtis would be too busy defending his Aunt Stella from insurance fraud, it began to fully dawn on Martin that Drew was the one to turn her in. Drew shifted back to telling Martin he would have to go to the PCPD to defend his statement against Michael as accurate. Martin asked if it included that Drew was the one who approached and upset Wiley and said he would not sign the statement if it was inaccurate. Drew reminded Martin that he was a congressman, his biggest client, and Martin couldn't afford to alienate him. Later, Emma went to the pool to see Gio. She let him know about Maxie being in the hospital and worried about how bad it was. Gio recalled how scared he was when his mom was in the hospital and how he wouldn't want anyone to have to feel that way. As they talked some more, Emma apologized for trauma dumping on him and bringing up memories of his mother. Gio said she had been unflinchingly there for him when his life fell apart, and he planned to always be there unflinchingly for her as well. Michael, Diane, and Sonny arrived at the PCPD to meet with Ada Turner about the alleged assault at the Metro Court. Sonny requested to speak with Turner alone for a minute. In the interrogation room, Sonny said they both knew Michael was innocent, but Turner said she wasn't and was legally obligated to have it investigated. Later, Chase arrived. He said there were 9 witnesses, both at the Metro Court, and he had interviewed all but one, Martin Gray. Just then, Drew and Martin arrived. Drew asked why Michael wasn't in handcuffs, saying he was a dangerous, volatile criminal. Michael said he was there voluntarily to answer questions. Chase went over each witness questioned and said not one of them recalled Michael hitting Drew. Apoplectic, Drew quickly accused Michael, Sonny, and Carly of witness tampering, but said Martin would confirm his account of events. Turner read part of the quite embellished statement Drew had given before having him sign it. Then, it was left for Martin to sign. The scene ended with Drew holding the pen out for Martin. Curtis met with Alexis at his Aurora office to talk about Aunt Stella getting questioned by the State Insurance Fraud Division. He knew something was off because the hospital legal team hadn't been informed and they were only interested in looking at Stella's claims. Stella arrived and immediately apologized to Alexis because she felt like Curtis was wasting her time. Stella felt hiring a lawyer would be a huge overreaction to what would end up being a paperwork issue. She saw it as an audit, but Curtis and Alexis tried to make her understand it could be something much worse. Eventually, she agreed to let Alexis be her lawyer. Stella said the investigators kept asking whether an insurance claim had been approved when it didn't actually meet coverage qualifications. When Alexis pressed to be more specific, Stella told them that everyone massaged paperwork, and she had, albeit rarely, altered dates to be sure the patient got the coverage they deserved. Alexis said changing dates would meet the insurance company's definition of fraud. She recalled altering the dates on insurance forms 7 times in the past 5 years. Critical of how the intricacies of how insurance companies work, she said that when people were about to be denied critical care or lose their houses, she altered the dates. As she went on, she happened to mention Martin not knowing his insurance had lapsed, which immediately clued Curtis and Alexis in that Drew was involved, recalling how he and Stella talked to Drew and Martin at the pool the other day. Curtis surmised that Martin likely innocently mentioned something to Drew about how Stella helped him, and Drew used it as an opportunity to hurt Stella to get back at him. General Hospital spoilers hint that Michael Corinthos may stun Willow Tate with 7 words. So will he blurt out a Daisy Gilmore stalker accusation? Michael can't be 100% certain that Willow was behind the creepy incidents surrounding Daisy, but she's definitely his top suspect. Even without firm proof, Michael feels confident that Willow was the one behind all the Daisy drama. Of course, GH fans know Willow was indeed the person who used Daisy to spook Sasha Gilmore Corbin. Michael is separated from his youngest daughter right now because Willow drove a terrified Sasha out of town with Daisy. Although Michael hasn't shared his suspicions with Willow yet, there may come a point when he blurts out his theory. Michael isn't the best at controlling his temper, as evidenced by the way he lost his cool with Drew Kane and decked him after he was provoked. If Willow manages to rile Michael up again, he might blow his top and divulge what he's thinking. It's easy to imagine Michael getting in Willow's face and using her secret to threaten her. Michael might have another outburst that's directed at Willow and say those 7 stunning words we hinted at. I know you targeted Daisy and Sasha. Willow doesn't realize that Michael is onto her at this point, so she'll be thrown for a loop if he makes that accusation. Even if Willow tries to deny it, Michael may warn that he could make trouble for her if he can prove this baby stalker news. Dante Falconeri is already working on maybe getting nearby traffic cam footage to establish Willow was at the scene of the crime. There's the potential for Michael to score enough evidence to take Willow down, so he may rattle her with an accusation and a vengeful promise at some point. General Hospital spoilers say Willow has more obstacles ahead and may have to make some strategy updates ahead of the visitation hearing, so stay tuned. General Hospital spoilers update for Thursday, August 21st reveals that Michael Corinthos and Sonny Corinthos will score a victory while Martin Gray makes a dirty move. Brooke Lynn Quartermain will also face a dire warning, so here's what GH fans can expect. For starters, Martin will play hardball with Drew Kane and insist he'll only sign his statement if Drew halts the insurance fraud investigation. Since it may be too late to pump the brakes on that, Martin may insist there's nothing he can do for Drew. Meanwhile, ADA Justine Turner will seem like she's ready to pass the popcorn and enjoy the Drew drama. Turner and Sonny may bond over Drew's roadblock since one is indeed coming up. Drew can't take Michael down for assault without Martin as a witness, so that may be why Michael and Sonny will have the advantage in Thursday's show. It sounds like Sonny and Michael will count this as a victory. Stella Henry, on the other hand, will feel defeated as she opens up to Curtis Ashford. Curtis will seethe over Drew throwing this investigation at Stella, but Stella won't think there's anything they can do about it. Nevertheless, raging Curtis will plan to strike back. Drew's fake truce has already been exposed, so Curtis will definitely want to unleash his wrath. When Molly Lansing Davis bumps into Cody Bell, she'll ask for his help as an expert on something. Since the book Molly's writing features a cowboy character, she may turn to Cody for research purposes. Of course, Cody may be in a rather gloomy mood due to Maxie Jones's medical issues. Molly may comfort Cody and ultimately realize she can't fight her feelings for him after all. At the Metro Court pool, Rick Lansing will spend some time with Elizabeth Baldwin, who'll surprise him by voicing her gratitude about something. Ava Jerome will also end up at the pool with Nina Reeves, so she may grumble at the sight of Rick and Elizabeth's continued reconnection. It turns out Ava will score some surprising information, so Nina will swear her to secrecy. Since Nina is paying Rick to represent Willow Tate without her knowledge, Ava's discovery may tie in with that and whatever legal strategy might be brewing. Elizabeth previously seemed suspicious about Rick working for Willow pro bono, so we'll see if Ava might expose Nina's hefty payment news sooner or later. At Maxie's house, Lulu Spencer and Liesl Obrecht will discuss old wounds, but they may also talk about a fresh start for Rocco Falconeri's sake. Liesl has been showing Lulu a softer and more helpful version of herself, so maybe there's the potential peace, or at least tolerance. At the Quartermaine stables, Tracy Quartermaine will have some important advice for Brooke Lynn. "You have to be there or you will never forgive yourself," Tracy warns Brooke Lynn in Thursday's preview video. If Brooke Lynn is tempted to skip Donna Corinthos' upcoming birthday party and avoid Giovanni Gio Palmieri, Tracy may think that's a terrible idea. This could be Brooke Lynn's chance to finally have a breakthrough with Gio, but that can't happen if she doesn't show up. Even if Brooke Lynn tries and fails, it'd be better than not trying at all. General Hospital spoilers say Tracy will offer up some guidance, so stay tuned for Brooke Lynn's reaction. Does this couple remind you of anyone? There is a new generation of spies on General Hospital, and some longtime fans think this all looks a bit familiar. Jocelyn and Vaughn remind some of the super couples from the past. It has taken a while for some fans to warm up to Vaughn. Dex was so loved, and we needed time to grieve him, as did Jocelyn. Vaughn was a question mark. He was not as kind as the deceased police officer and was hard on Joss. He was her handler and not her boyfriend. So that made sense, but we felt her pain. Things changed this week at the Five Poppies Resort. Joss shot a man who was trying to kill her partner. Professional or not, that can take a toll on anyone. Vaughn was sensitive enough to notice this, and when he found her on the shower floor, fully clothed, with the water running, he jumped right in with her. The way he sat with her and held her was so sweet. He truly understood what she was feeling. It looks like this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship. They may be this generation's crime-fighting couple. Felicia first came to Port Charles in 1984 to recover her Aztec heirloom ring. Sparks flew when she met Frisco, and they were soon catching bad guys together. From Port Charles to Mexico to the Asian Quarter, this couple had tons of adventures. Frisco eventually joined the WSB, while Felicia became a private investigator. Fast forward to Joss and Vaughn, another couple of spies heading towards love. This time, they are both WSB spies, but their partnership is similar to the 1980s version. They even have a similar look. Is GH getting nostalgic? Another couple that comes to mind is Robert and Anna. Both were WSB agents who went on to work together when they were married and after their divorce. Do Joss and Vaughn bring back memories for you? Let us know in the comments section. Brooke Lynn faces Tracy's tough love while Molly turns to Cody's cowboy wisdom and Nina confides in Ava. The next General Hospital spoilers video for Thursday, August 21, 2025, shows Nina pressuring Ava to keep a secret while Rick receives rare praise, and Ada Turner is looking forward to Drew's meltdown. Aunt Stella tells Curtis, "I knee." This time, Drew won. The weekly teasers state Curtis is on the warpath, and it's about time. Stella might be throwing her hands up in the air and accepting that Drew won the round. But Curtis isn't going to stand for it. Tracy informs Brooklyn, "You have to be there or you will never forgive yourself." While at Bobby's, Molly says to Cody, "I have a question that requires your expertise." It's probably a cowboy question for her new romance novel. A perplexed Rick asks someone, "What did I do for you?" Is he talking to Elizabeth? And if he is, what could he have done that warrants praise? That's kind of rare for Rick. Nina tells Ava, "You need to promise you're going to keep this to yourself." The teasers also show that Ava gets intriguing intel, so Nina probably shared her worries that Willow messed with Daisy. Either that, or she spots Rick and Liz together once again. Elsewhere, Martin says to Drew, "Stop the investigation. I'll sign your statement." It's too bad for Michael, but good for Aunt Stella. However, Drew got a government investigation against Stella, so he might not be able to stop it, in which case Team Michael wins anyway. ADA Turner tells Sonny, "This should be good." She's probably having fun watching the fireworks as Drew's head explodes. He's going to be outraged if Michael doesn't get arrested, and could make the mistake that everyone's waiting for. General Hospital spoilers are in for Thursday, August 21st, 2025. In tomorrow's episode, Stella Henry admits defeat, while Martin Gray attempts to blackmail Drew Kane. In other news, Ava Jerome gets some intriguing intel, and Nina Reeves has a new secret. Keep reading to learn more about all the drama in Port Charles below. General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, August 23rd hint that Curtis Ashford will be on the warpath. He's raging mad about Stella's hospital investigation, and he knows Drew is behind it. With that said, it looks like Stella is about to wave her white flag in the air and give up. During a clip from tomorrow's show, Stella is seen telling Curtis, "This time, Drew won." The clip shows Curtis seething. But has Drew won? In another scene from the August 21st preview video, Martin is shown with Drew, as he tells the congressman that if he stops the investigation, he'll sign his statement. One can only assume Martin is talking about Stella's investigation. This is interesting since Drew is foaming at the mouth to get Michael Corinthos arrested for assaulting him. But will Drew succumb to Martin's demands? Who will he want to see get payback more? Michael or Curtis? Speaking of, it looks like Michael and Sonny Corinthos will gain the upper hand. Drew tried to get Michael arrested for punching him during the August 20th show. However, all 9 of the witnesses that Harrison Chase spoke to stated on the record that they didn't see Michael hit Drew. If Martin refuses to sign that statement, then Drew will be out of luck. In other related news, Sonny will flirt with ADA Justine Turner at the PCPD, so these two will continue to bond. Across town, Ava will get some interesting intel. During the GH promo for tomorrow's show, she's shown with Nina as Ms. Reeves begs her friend to promise that she's going to keep this to herself. But will Ava keep Nina's new secret? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Elsewhere, Lulu Spencer will rehash the past with Liesl Obrecht. Yikes, hope things don't get ugly between these two. Meanwhile, Molly Lansing Davis will have an epiphany. Is this about her feelings for Cody Bell? Regardless, the two will spend some time together during General Hospital's Thursday show as Molly solicits Cody's expertise on something. The GH preview for August 21st also shows Brooke Lynn Quartermain conversing with her granny, Tracy Quartermain, at the Q stables. Tracy advises BLQ that she has to be there or she'll never forgive herself. Does this have to do with Maxie Jones's current condition? Finally, fans will see Rick Lansing during tomorrow's show, and he'll feel a whole lot of regret over something. In the preview, he's shown rolling his eyes saying, "What did I do?" So, who has him questioning his own motives? Fans will have to tune in to find out. What storyline are you most interested in seeing? Comment below. Watch your favorite ABC soap daily, and check out this site often for the best General Hospital spoilers, news, and updates. General Hospital spoilers unravel a tangled web of storylines, each laced with suspense, heartbreak, and shocking revelations. At the center of the storm lies the harrowing mission at the Five Poppies Resort, where Jocelyn "Jaws" Jax and her partner Vaughn find themselves masquerading as newlyweds until their cover is blown and chaos erupts. What begins as covert surveillance quickly descends into a nightmare of ambushes hidden explosives, and deadly choices. For the second time in her young life, Jocelyn is forced to pull the trigger and take a life, a devastating act that carves deeper scars into her psyche. Her inner turmoil grows heavier by the moment, even as Vaughn fights to protect her from crumbling under the weight of guilt and trauma. The shockwaves grow even stronger with the return of Dex Heller, long believed to be dead. His miraculous survival, revealed to be the result of a WSB intervention and forced recruitment under Brennan's command, reignites old tensions. Jocelyn is torn between loyalty, love, and anger as she navigates the emotional triangle with Vaughn and Dex. Though the team narrowly escapes with their lives, the resort's destruction only hints at a larger conspiracy tied to corruption, black market experiments, and the WSB's ruthless grip on Port Charles operatives. Meanwhile, across the globe, the drama takes a darker, more sinister turn in Dubrovnik, Croatia, where Britt Westbourne is being held under mysterious confinement. With her Huntington's disease worsening and her medication tightly controlled, fans are buzzing with speculation about who's orchestrating her captivity. Is it her father, Cesar Faison, rumored to be alive despite his infamous death? Or could her half-brother, Peter August, have cheated death once again and returned to manipulate her? Every whispered message and shadowed corner suggests Britt is caught in a calculated game of psychological warfare, her freedom dangling by the strings of her family's twisted legacy. The episode closes on a poignant real-world note, honoring soap legend Tristan Rogers while spotlighting Maurice Benard. Through his State of Mind podcast, Benard opens up about his own journey with bipolar disorder, drawing powerful parallels between his struggles and Sonny's on-screen battles. General Hospital spoilers for August 25th through the 29th. See Maxie Jones as Hart and Britt Westbourne panicking. As we always do on Early Edition Day, we start with what's coming for the rest of this week and then dive into next week. On Wednesday, August 20th, Gio Palmieri listens while Emma Scorpio Drake opens up to him. I wonder if she is going to admit that she's catching feelings for Gio. He tells Emma he is not flinching either. It sounds like they might both be saying, okay, they like each other. But how will Anna Devane react? Gio lives with her and Emma, which doesn't seem appropriate with feelings going on. Something shakes up Lulu Spencer, maybe during an update from Lucas Jones. Lulu asks what they're not telling her. I do wonder if Maxie's heart is giving out. It's been years since the transplant. The younger you are when you get the heart, the longer it lasts. But they don't always last forever. Lucas delivers rough news to Maxie's family. Max Scorpio is talking to Felicia Scorpio and Cody Bell, wondering why Maxie's heart would suddenly fail out of nowhere. It looks like very bad news. Lucas says Maxie should be awake by now, but maybe she's just not waking up. There might be a reason for this. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Anna has a theory to run by someone. I wonder if it's her and DA Justine Turner talking about Drew Kane Quartermain and what he is up to. The DA can't tell Anna she was at Sonny Corinthos's, but both are kind of on his side right now. Alexis Davis gets a new client, Stella Henry. Alexis tells Stella that, by the insurance company's definition, what she did is considered fraud. Also, Sonny corners the DA and asks her if Justine is going after his son, Michael Corinthos. We know she doesn't want to. Drew is completely enraged on Wednesday on General Hospital, so I wonder if the DA is going to find a way to file something proactively to stop him. Or maybe the DA stops him. On Thursday, August 21st, Molly Lansing Davis has a realization. I wonder if it's about the things Christina Corinthos Davis has been saying about Cody and about the man himself. We all know Molly likes him, and Christina's just sabotaging that for her own selfish reasons, which is pretty typical of her. Ava Jerome gets some new information. It could be Nina Reeves telling her she was chucked into the pool by Carly Corinthos Spencer, or it could be something about Cody or Rick Lansing. Michael and Sonny celebrate a win, likely on the assault issue. I wonder if Drew has been shut down forever, or just shut down for now. Curtis Ashford is completely enraged. He's obviously going to be fuming that Aunt Stella is being investigated for fraud. I'm guessing it won't take Curtis too long to figure out that Drew is the one who set this all in motion. Lulu and Liesl Obrecht dredge up the past. They are talking about Britt and Rocco Falseroni. The embryo, and all the stuff that happened. Obrecht shows up at Maxie Jones's house. I'm sure she's heard that Maxie is in the hospital, or maybe she hasn't. Lulu tells her. Lulu is answering the door, and I'm guessing Obrecht is not expecting to see her there. Maybe she's come to visit James West. Liesl Obrecht is going to be crushed to hear about what is going on with Maxie Jones's heart. I do wonder if Liesl may offer some medical expertise, but this is one thing that Liesl and Lulu can agree on. They don't want anything bad to happen to Maxie. They don't want James to lose his mother. They also agree that they don't want Rocco hurt. They do have a lot in common, but Britt Westbourne is the big sticking issue for now. They both think she's dead, but when it comes out she's alive, that will be a game changer for them, for obvious reasons. On Friday, August 22nd, Carly shares her concerns with Jack Brennan. I wonder if she hasn't heard from Jocelyn Jacks, or if it's about the Michael situation. Elizabeth Weber is there to encourage Christina. Maybe she's going to tell her to stop scheming before something horrible happens, since Christina already almost killed Elizabeth and Rick. Willow Tate has something big to ask somebody. Cody is ready to confess by the end of the week. It looks like Tracy Quartermain's talk worked. She convinced him that Cody's feeling ick about what he's doing to Ava. Probably also about how Molly sees him. I'm wondering if he is going to rat Christina out to Ava. Elizabeth and Rick spend some time talking. I wonder if she's going to update him about the Michael assault on Drew and all that, so that he knows it for Willow Tate's case. Nina also gets together with Rick. She may want a Willow case update. I wonder if she's going to vent to him about Carly. Then the following week, August 25th through the 29th, Maxie's loved ones are sick with worry. She's stable for now, but Lucas is concerned that she's not waking up fast enough. I'm just wondering if General Hospital is going to leave Maxie in a coma until Kirsten Storms is back from her leave of absence, which is supposedly sometime in October. If she's not in a coma, they could send her off to a special facility for transplant patients. They could just leave her conked out at GH. Lots of options. Alexis is going to fight for Scout Kane and also Stella. Alexis knows how awful Drew is. She wants Scout to be far away from him. She definitely does not want Drew to take Scout to Washington, D.C. Plus, Alexis needs to find a strategy and advocate for Stella. I'm just wondering where Martin Gray stands on this. If he will also figure out that Drew Kane Quartermain targeted Stella, who Martin really likes, thinks she's wonderful, and she really helped him. But Drew is so selfish. Curtis is obviously going to be out to avenge his Aunt Stella. Drew promised Curtis a truce, but he didn't mean it at all, and immediately went after someone near and dear to him. D.A. Turner is busy plotting against Drew now that she knows he is dirty. She's going to do everything she can to bring him down. It's kind of ironic that she's only paying lip service to going after Sonny now that Dimple Charm seems to have worked. Christina may be scrambling to stop Cody. It would be really bad for Christina if Ava Jerome or Molly Lansing Davis found out she paid Cody to seduce Ava. I kind of wonder if Christina might offer Cody a bonus for his silence. Drew is not going to back down. Michael and Sonny may have won the battle, but I'm sure Drew will hatch another plan for the Willow War. Brennan has to weigh the risk of what's going on in Croatia. Things went sideways. Joss and Vaughn had to kill somebody, and Carly may kill Jack Brennan when this all comes out. Brennan is also dodging Anna on this issue. Of course, he still doesn't know he has a double agent who betrayed him, Colette Moreau. Joss will creep around the resort and find Britt at the Five Poppies. She can't just tell Jocelyn to go away the way she did to Jason Morgan, because she has no grudge against her. I do like that Britt was giving him grief for just dumping her for Carly, which he did, and I like that she's handing it back to him. But I also really think that Britt is actually trying to protect him. Jason Morgan is not going to go quietly. Britt's not going to be able to shake him off as easily as that. Also, Joss is conflicted on her feelings for Vaughn and taking another life. And look for more scenes ahead with John J. York as Max Scorpio and Bradford Anderson back as Damian Spinelli. With the passing of Tristan Rogers, General Hospital has lost not just an actor, but one of its core characters. For decades, Robert Scorpio defined what it meant to be a soap hero. Suave, unflinching, fiercely loyal, and utterly fearless in the face of danger. He wasn't just a character, he was an era. But with the devastating death of Tristan Rogers, the question looms, how does GH honor Robert in a way that feels true to his spirit? The answer may lie in rewriting a painful wrong, Luke Spencer's underwhelming off-screen death. General Hospital fans have long been outraged at Luke's so-called exit, a vague cable car crash in Amsterdam, resolved in dialogue and stripped of the spectacle and gravity the character deserved. That was never Luke's style, and it certainly wasn't Robert's. Robert Scorpio, the ultimate WSB agent and police commissioner, would have never bought such a flimsy story. Picture it. Before settling into a quiet life in Europe with Holly, and later joined by their daughter, Sasha, and her baby Daisy, Robert digs deeper. His instincts scream that Luke's accident wasn't an accident at all. And of course, he's right. He had helped Holly deal with her dangerous debts, and so was able to focus on what happened to his best friend. But the bad guys in this would need to be equally legendary. To elevate this story, it demands a villain of mythic proportions, Cesar Faison. See, soap's eternal boogeyman could easily be revealed as the mastermind still pulling strings from beyond the grave. While we saw for a fact that he was dead on screen, for Faison, death isn't the handicap it used to be. Or perhaps remnants of Peter August's network kept Luke captive, his disappearance part of a larger scheme that ties directly into Brit's mysterious boss. Let's not forget that Victor Cassadine spoke on the phone to someone, telling them that Luke had been neutralized. In classic soap fashion, the details almost matter less than the showdown. Robert and Luke, side by side once more, forced into one final battle against the darkness that has haunted them for decades. Imagine the poetry. Robert discovers Luke alive, battered but not broken, and together, the old friends embark on one last mission. They don't fade away. They fight, and they win, but at the ultimate cost. The men who once saved the world time and again die as heroes, not relics. Their sacrifice would reverberate through Port Charles. Sadly, we would only be able to hear about it. Perhaps Holly and Sasha could return home bearing Robert's story, or Brit could reveal to Jocelyn and Vaughn what the two men uncovered, tying Robert and Luke's deaths to the younger generation's mission against Professor Dalton. Either way, their legend would live on. Robert Scorpio and Luke Spencer aren't just characters, they're cornerstones of General Hospital history. Tristan Rogers deserves for Robert to be remembered with the same fire and fight he carried on screen for decades. And Anthony Geary's Luke deserves better than a one-line cable car write-off. Let them go out the only way they should, together in the last great adventure. Two heroes of another era roaring into history, leaving behind a legacy of bravery that no villain could ever extinguish. General Hospital spoilers update for Wednesday, August 20th, reveals that Lucas Jones will deliver some horrible Maxie Jones news while Michael Corinthos gains an ally. Alexis Davis will also confirm fraud as she represents a new client. So let's start with some updates on Stella Henry's case. Although Stella has been trying to help Martin Gray finesse the system, Alexis will insist she's committed fraud. At least that's how the insurance company will define what she did. It's Drew Kane's fault that Stella is facing this backlash. If it hadn't been for Drew launching this investigation, Stella's little system tweaks would have probably flown under the radar. Martin casually mentioned Stella being his angel and accidentally tipped Drew off to Stella's shady practices for a good cause. Now that Drew has blabbed to the wrong people, Martin will be ready for revenge. Martin will get his chance quickly, since Drew will come to him for help with all the Michael assault drama. Although Drew will expect Martin to serve as a witness and back him up, Martin will refuse to help someone who stabbed him in the back. Martin won't appreciate how Drew's going after sweet Stella. The backlash this is bringing for Martin himself won't earn Drew any points either, so he'll turn the tables and enrage Drew by becoming Michael's ally. Next, Cody Bell will visit GH, where he'll catch up with Max Scorpio and Felicia Scorpio regarding Maxie's condition. Mac will have a hard time wrapping his head around Maxie's heart attack coming out of the blue. As for Lucas, he'll realize Maxie should be opening her eyes and coming back to them by now. Maxie may fall into a coma, since Lucas will have some awful info to deliver to all Maxie's loved ones. Lulu Spencer knows what it's like to be comatose and will hate the idea of Maxie going through an extended separation from her family. Although Lucy Coe doesn't believe the face cream is to blame, all signs point to it being tainted and launching Maxie's medical crisis. Jens Sidwell has seemingly been plotting to get Maxie out of the picture, so is this his drastic plan to make his deception problem go away? As for Anna Devane, she'll have a theory to present. Will that be about Maxie's ordeal, or perhaps about Drew instead, since Anna's becoming part of his takedown? Anna was a little hesitant to team up with ADA Justine Turner at first, but she seems poised to go all in soon enough. Sonny Corinthos will misunderstand the situation on ADA Turner's end, but she's just playing Drew and making moves that'll ultimately work out well for Michael. Once Turner offers some clues about her Drew trap, Sonny Shikie should be pleased. Other General Hospital spoilers say Giovanni Gio Palmieri will prove his loyalty to Emma Scorpio Drake. As their connection grows even stronger, Emma and Gio's efforts to sink Professor Henry Hank Dalton will remain part of the story, but things will also start to get more personal. Gio and Emma should be headed into romantic territory eventually, so stick with the ABC soap. Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.